join me today for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. A very exciting race in store for you all today. 25 laps around this beautiful circuit. And while we have the chance, why not Robin, who's currently in P2 with 56 points, 17 points behind Jaguar himself. In P3, we have DRS Neil with 49 points, and in P4, the last race's race winner at Spa is, of course, Bambino with 43 points himself. And in P5, we have Cassell with 38 points. The rest of the top 10 would be Crofties, Julio, Saeed, Trems, and CL. I believe that rounds off the top 10. Standings at the moment, Ferrari currently lead the championship with 85 points, but close behind them are Alpine with 81. In P3, we have Red Bull with 61 points, and in P4, AlphaTauri with 59 points, and in P5 we have Aston Martin with 49 points. The rest of the top 10 would be Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, Williams, Haas, and McLaren. So, hello Saeed, good to see you as always. Hope you have an exciting race today. And while we have a chance, let's talk about this race. So Saudi Arabia, track very high on downforce, a few fast corners on this track, and a decently long straight. So drivers are going to be looking for a good balance between their setups, and we'll see how they bounce back and handle the track conditions as follows. Obviously, being in Saudi Arabia, the chances for rain and unpredictable weather will be on the downs. So I don't really expect a whole lot of rain to disrupt qualifying or the race itself. And of course, the walls being extremely close to the track would indicate that there's a high chance for a safety car here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few of those through the session. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, not too much longer now until we get the race underway. So why not get comfortable, grab yourself something to eat, grab something to drink, maybe grab a loved one, and we should be getting started very, very soon. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, our beautiful host Halanan has now given us the go-ahead to get this race underway. So drivers are now preparing and readying up for what should be a very exciting race for us here today. Of course, a track like Saudi, being so close to the walls and then drivers going side by side with each other through multiple corners, it's not an easy job, and it's definitely difficult to overtake in some corners, but I'm sure we're going to be in store for some great racing here today. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let us get qualifying here at Saudi Arabia underway. And while I have the quick opportunity, let's quickly set up the lap data. And I'm obviously having to turn telemetry on and off as is tradition. And who will be the first driver to go out on track? So we can view through the track map on the bottom right that this is obviously a very tight and twisty circuit through some corners, and then we have some decently long straights, 3 DRS zones on this track. So plenty of overtaking opportunities to be in store for all of us, I'm sure. We have that giant hairpin at the front of the corner, and it seems like Samet may actually be the first driver out on track. So just our luck that we were spectating the right driver, and we'll ride on board with him to get a good idea of what this track has in store for us. I see a Ferrari with some activity in the pit garage, and that seems to be Robin, who's going to be the second driver out on track. So, beginning this out lap with Samet, we get a good chance to ride on board with him to see what we are in store for here at Saudi Arabia. And coming through Sector 1 at the moment, this is where the tight and twisty section really begins. These fast corners really give a good opportunity to the driver to spread their, well, I was going to say spread their wings, but that's actually quite the opposite. Drivers over here going through these fast corners have to be extremely careful as to not cause any invalidations, as we see Samet unfortunately going very wide on his exit over there. And that's something drivers are going to have to massively look out for as this race continues. The accumulation of penalties drivers have exactly signed up for. So Samet now coming through Sector 2 at the moment, are now approaching the first DRS zone here at Jeddah. And riding on board with him at the moment, obviously not pushing anytime soon, but with one DRS zone followed right after the next, this fast left-hander and this fast chicane really testing the limits on their cars and their setups. And now with the second last DRS zone, it's a very long straight to that corner. As we ride on board with Samet as he becomes the first driver to begin his time lapse. So we'll ride on board with him. We have two Ferraris in the back there. It seems to be Robin and Saeed who are following each other side by side. So we'll be watching their laps closely as well. But keeping our eye on Samet now as he heads through turn 1. There is a Haas not too far ahead of him. So we'll see hopefully how he manages to avoid the traffic, and we can already see a bit of squirreliness from Samet as he's coming through the exit of those corners. It's so easy to unsettle the car, especially through these fast left-handers. You got to keep it as close to the wall as you possibly can to present a better run out of those. And as the session progresses, I'm sure we're going to see that time fall. But watching Samet now coming through that long left-hander, that hairpin as such, still hasn't caught up to the Haas ahead of him, so luckily for him, he doesn't have to really worry about traffic. He's still in clean air. And now approaching one of the first DRS zones here at Jeddah. And it's not exact to being the first car to go through Sector 2 at the moment. A few other drivers out on track who have now begun their runs. Keplero, who I don't think I've seen before, making his debut here with Tier 2. 8.4 and sets the benchmark for the Ferrari drivers, and we'll see how they respond. Robin now coming across the line sets a 127.8, a fantastic lap time from him, and Saeed Al Falasi gonna follow suit with his teammate, sets a 127.6 and manages to beat out his teammate and take provisional pole. And a few moments have passed since the start of this race, and already we're seeing some very impressive lap times for the Ferrari drivers. We'll see how everybody else can respond. DRS Neo, on the other hand, coming now near the end of the second DRS straight, as the Aston Martin are casting only my mic audio, which is very, very, very weird. Not too sure what to do about this. Let me see if I can try to quickly fix it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm terribly sorry about that. I'm not too sure why it's giving me a poor connection quality. Let me restart this stream and try to start it back up again, and hopefully we can get this thing back underway.